Michael Jackson stood at the Vietnam Veterans Memorial, and what he saw stopped him mid-step. A 70-year-old man, alone, crying at the wall. But wait a minute. This was 2 a.m. How was anyone even here? May 28, 2004. Washington, D.C. Michael Jackson had just finished a private meeting with Congress. His security wanted him back at the hotel, but Michael insisted on one stop. "The wall," he said quietly. "I need to see the wall." But that wasn't even the shocking part. The real story had started 6 months ago, and nobody knew the truth. Let me tell you. November 2003. Robert Chen was 70 years old, Vietnam veteran, Purple Heart recipient, 3 tours, 58 years since he came home. His wife had died 2 months earlier. Cancer, 46 years of marriage, gone. "What do I do now?" Robert asked the hospice nurse. "Live, Mr. Chen. That's what Margaret would want." But Robert didn't know how. His children lived across the country. His war friends, most were dead. The ones alive didn't talk anymore. That night at his apartment, Robert sat in the dark, the Purple Heart on the shelf, Margaret's photo beside it. Robert hadn't cried in 58 years, not since Da Nang, not at his daughter's birth, not even at Margaret's funeral. But that night, alone, he broke. 1 week later, December, Robert was at the VA hospital for his checkup. The waiting room was crowded. Young veterans, Iraq, Afghanistan, missing limbs, broken minds. "Mr. Chen," the nurse called. Robert stood up. His knee gave out. He grabbed the chair. A young soldier, maybe 25, one arm missing, helped him up. "You okay, sir?" "I'm fine, son." "Vietnam?" the young man asked. "3 tours." The soldier nodded, respect in his eyes. "Thank you for your service." Robert looked at the empty sleeve, pinned up, clean. "Fallujah? Ramadi, IED, 2003. "I'm sorry." The young man smiled, sad. "We all lose something over there, sir. You lost things too." Robert wanted to say something meaningful, like, "It gets better," or, "You'll be okay." But he couldn't, because he didn't know if it was true. The words stuck. They always stuck. But the young soldier looked at him like he understood anyway, like the silence said enough. After the appointment, Robert walked to the parking lot. But something felt wrong. His car keys. He'd left them inside. He turned around, and that's when he saw it. A black SUV, tinted windows, parked in the handicap spot, engine running. Robert walked past it, kept his head down, not his business. But then the window rolled down. A man's voice, quiet. "Excuse me, sir." Robert stopped, looked, sunglasses, hat, scarf covering most of his face. "Can I help you?" Robert asked. "Are you a veteran?" Robert hesitated. "Yes." The man stepped out, tall, thin, something familiar about the way he moved. "I saw you inside," the man said. "The way that young soldier looked at you. Respect. Real respect. That matters." Robert didn't know what to say. The man pulled out an envelope, white, thick. "This is for you. I don't understand. You don't have to. Just take it, please." Robert took the envelope. His hands were shaking. "Who are you?" But the man was already back in the SUV, window rolling up, gone. Robert opened the envelope in his car, a letter and a check. The letter said, "For Robert Chen, medical expenses, housing, whatever you need, you served. Now let someone serve you. Anonymous donor." The check was for $50,000. Robert almost had a heart attack. He read it twice, 3 times. "This can't be real," he whispered. But it was. The next day, his bank confirmed. Legitimate, no strings. Robert tried to find who sent it, called the hospital, checked footage, nothing. With that money, Robert paid Margaret's medical bills, fixed his apartment, bought a proper headstone. "I wish you could see this," Robert told Margaret's photo. "An angel out there." Fast forward to May 2004. Robert was watching the news. Michael Jackson, in Washington, D.C., testifying about music education. That man does a lot of good, Robert thought. That night, Robert couldn't sleep. Margaret's birthday tomorrow, their anniversary next week. At midnight, Robert got dressed. drove to the Vietnam Veterans Memorial. He did this sometimes, late at night, when tourists were gone, alone with the names. Robert walked along the wall, found the names, his brothers, the ones who didn't come home. James Chen, panel 23E, line 67, his actual brother, died 3 weeks before Robert's second tour ended. David Martinez, panel 31W, line 89, best friend, took the bullet meant for Robert. William Park, panel 11E, line 34, saved Robert's life, died doing it. "I'm still here," Robert whispered. "I don't know why, but I'm still here." His fingers traced the names, cold marble, permanent. "Margaret's gone now too," Robert said to the wall, to his brothers. "And I still don't know why I got to come home, why I got 46 years with her, why I got to grow old." And then he cried, for the first time in 58 years, in public, at the wall. He didn't hear the footsteps behind him. "Sir?" Robert spun around. A man, hat, sunglasses, even at 2 a.m. "I'm sorry," Robert said, wiping his eyes. "I didn't know anyone was here." "Don't apologize," the man said softly. "This place deserves tears." Robert looked closer, something about that voice. The man stepped into the light, took off his sunglasses. Robert's breath caught. "Michael Jackson?" Robert whispered. Michael nodded. "And you are?" "Robert Chen. I don't understand. What are you doing here?" "The same thing you are," Michael said. "Remembering." They stood in silence. Two men. The wall between them and the past. "I lost my wife," Robert said suddenly. He didn't know why he said it, but the words came. "I'm sorry," Michael said. "How long?" 4 months, 46 years together. Michael looked at the wall. "These names, your friends?" "My brothers," Robert said. "I came home. They didn't. I've never understood why." Michael was quiet for a long moment. Then he stepped closer. "Can I tell you something?" Michael asked. Robert nodded. "In December," Michael said, "I was at the VA hospital, visiting. I saw you. You helped a young soldier. One arm. You treated him like he mattered, like his sacrifice mattered." Robert's eyes widened. "That was you," Robert whispered. "In the SUV, the envelope." Michael didn't confirm, didn't deny, just looked at Robert. "You gave me $50,000, Robert said. "I've been trying to find you for 6 months." "You weren't supposed to find me," Michael said gently. "You were just supposed to be helped." "Why?" Robert asked. "You don't know me." Michael Jackson looked at the wall. At the names, 58,000 names. "My father was hard," Michael said quietly. "He pushed. He hurt. I spent my childhood performing. No rest, no peace. And you know what I wanted? Someone to see me, to say, 'You matter,' not because you're famous, just because you're you." Michael turned to Robert. "You served, you sacrificed. You came home to a country that didn't always appreciate you. You lost your brothers, your wife, and you're still standing at this wall, still honoring them." Michael's voice cracked. "You matter, Robert, that's why." Robert Chen, 70 years old, 3 tours in Vietnam, Purple Heart recipient, collapsed. Not from pain, from relief. Michael caught him, held him up. "I thought I was supposed to die there," Robert sobbed. "With them, at the wall. I thought that's why I survived, to remember them, to die here." "No," Michael said firmly. "You survived to live, for them, for Margaret, for that young soldier who looked at you like you were a hero." Robert couldn't speak. He just cried, and Michael held him. At 2 a.m. at the wall, 2 men, both broken, both healing. Security guards approached. "Mr. Jackson, we should—" "Give us a minute," Michael said. The guard stepped back. Michael helped Robert to a bench, sat with him. "I have something for you," Michael said. He pulled out a piece of paper, folded. Robert opened it, an address, a phone number. "It's a veterans therapy program," Michael said. "Funded, anonymous. They specialize in survivor's guilt, PTSD, grief." "I can't afford—" "It's already paid for," Michael interrupted. 1 year, full program, Housing if needed. Medical. Everything. Robert stared at the paper. How much is this? It doesn't matter. It's too much. Robert, Michael said. Look at me. Robert looked up. You gave your youth, Michael said. You gave your friends. You gave your peace of mind. For this country. For people you never met. This is not too much. This is not even close to enough. Robert's hands were shaking. I don't know what to say. Say you'll go, Michael said. Say you'll live. For Margaret. For the names on that wall. For you. Robert nodded, tears streaming. I'll go. Michael stood, extended his hand. Robert stood, shook it. Thank you, Robert whispered. Michael Jackson smiled. Thank you for your service. Real service, the kind that costs everything. Michael walked away, disappeared into the night. Robert stood at the wall, holding the paper, the lifeline. The next morning, Robert called the number. 3 weeks later, he started the program. Group therapy, Vietnam vets, Korea vets, Gulf War, Iraq, Afghanistan. This is Robert Chen, the counselor said. 3 tours, Purple Heart. The other vets nodded. Just respect. For the first time in 58 years, Robert talked. About Da Nang, about the ambush, about watching his best friend die in his arms. November 12, 1968, Robert said, his voice shaking. We were on patrol. David was walking point. He always walked point. Said he had good eyes. Robert's hands were trembling. The Viet Cong opened fire. David went down. I ran to him. He was bleeding out, stomach wound. I tried to stop it. I couldn't. The room was silent, everyone listening. He looked at me, Robert continued, and he said, Tell my mom I wasn't scared. But he was. I could see it, and I lied. I said, You're gonna be fine. And then he died. In my arms. And I'm still here. Robert looked up at the other veterans, tears streaming. I should have died. Not him, not any of them, me. But you didn't, another vet said. That's not your fault. That's your mission, to carry them home. In here. He tapped his chest. Robert cried. The whole group cried. Months passed. Robert graduated the program, started volunteering, talking to young vets. Someone helped me, Robert told them. Now I'm helping you. 2009, June 25th. Robert was volunteering at the VA when the news broke. Michael Jackson dead at 50. Robert froze, went home, sat with Margaret's photo. He saved me, Robert told her picture. That night Robert wrote to the Michael Jackson estate. In May 2004 at the Vietnam Veterans Memorial, Michael Jackson gave me my life back. I was ready to die. He told me to live. I did. I've helped 43 veterans since then, because he helped me first. The letter went viral when the estate shared it online. CNN called. Is this true? Every word, Robert said. Good morning, America. What did Michael whisper to you? He said, You survived to live. For them. And I collapsed, because for 58 years, I thought I survived to die. The interview aired. 12 million views in 2 days. And then something happened. Other veterans started coming forward. Michael Jackson paid my PTSD treatment, $35,000. I never knew it was him. He funded my service dog, anonymous donor. We found out later it was Michael. He bought my family a house. I was homeless. He saw me at a shelter. Next month, a lawyer called. Journalists investigated. This came out. Michael Jackson had helped 163 documented veterans over 12 years, all anonymous, through lawyers and foundations. He had one rule, his estate lawyer said. Never tell them until I'm gone. 60 Minutes did a special. The Soldier's Friend, Michael Jackson's Secret Mission. Robert Chen was the main interview. That night at the wall, Robert said on camera, Michael didn't just give me money, he gave me permission. Permission to survive. Permission to be broken. Permission to heal. The interviewer asked, why didn't he want credit? Because that's not why he did it, Robert said. He did it because he knew what it felt like. To be alone. To be broken. To need someone to see you. Robert paused, his voice cracked. He saw me, at 2 a.m., at the wall, and he didn't walk away. He walked toward me. 6 months later, the Michael Jackson estate announced a new foundation. The Wall Project, for veterans who need to be seen. Robert Chen was appointed senior advisor. On opening day, Robert gave a speech, a photo behind him. Michael Jackson at the wall, looking at the names. 15 years ago, Robert said, I went to that wall to die. I thought my mission was over, but a man stopped me, a stranger, a legend, and he whispered 5 words. You survived to live. Live. Robert's voice broke. He taught me that real service is quiet. Real help doesn't need cameras. Real heroism sees one person and says, you matter. Michael Jackson saved my life, not with fame, not with performances, with attention, with dignity, with 5 words at 2 a.m. Today, the Wall Project has helped over 3,400 veterans. Full therapy programs, housing assistance, medical care, and in every office, there's a photo. Michael Jackson, Robert Chen, at the wall. Both crying. The caption says, he stopped everything to see one veteran, pass it on. If this story moved you, please subscribe and hit that like button. Share this with someone who needs to remember that one moment of attention can save a life. Have you ever stopped everything for someone else? Tell us in the comments. Turn on notifications because more incredible true stories are coming.